Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to a high level best of 3 of StarCraft 2. Today we have Skillous versus the only father in the top 10 of players right now. It's of course going to be Dark. I was talking with Wardy the other day about Dark, and I said I hadn't seen Dark in as many tournaments as of late, and I was wondering if it maybe had something to do with his incoming military service. And Wardy told me that he believed it had more to do with his parental duties instead, and that you know, and once you become a father, it becomes a little bit more difficult to play 7 StarCraft tournaments in one day, because you have other things to take care of as well, of course, and just winning video games. Now I'm still very impressed by Dark's result, because I think he has been a father for the past 5-6 months, and his results haven't really slipped at all. He's remained fairly stable within the top 5, top 6 spots of players in the world, behind people like Serral, Clem, Raynor, MaxPax, Hero. I think Dark right now is the rank 6. Skillous, on the other hand, had quite a meteoric rise over the past few months as well. I feel like ever since the StarCraft season truly has ended, Skillous was like, it would be fun in the off-season. That's where I want to perform well. And he's been practicing very hard, and he's been showing some really sick results. His MMR has risen significantly as well, which I know a lot of you will not really care about, but this is something that I think a lot of pro gamers themselves care about when it comes to skill indication. Having high MMR for a consistent period is actually freaking difficult. And Skillous the other day actually reached, I think it was 6,850 is what I saw, which is just a phenomenal MMR. It's really close to the likes of Clem and Serral. There's not many people that can actually get that high of an MMR. So yeah, impressive results. Like, in order to get high MMR and keep it, you need to be very consistent on the ladder. And on the ladder, that's when people truly try their best builds. Most of the time, people that don't actually play the game, they think that the most important thing is tournament results. But once you get to know pro gamers, you'll know that the ladder is, that's what truly matters. When there's MMR points on the line, that's when the real builds come out, all right? Tournaments, you can play some throwaway builds, but on the ladder, don't want to get that big minus 45 on your face. Let me tell you that much. Ooh, Dark's opening up with a fast Evo chamber here for 19 on that Evo chamber. Triple Queen moving over towards the third base, as only a single drone has gone down so far. Make that 2, make that 3. As the Oracle with the energy recharge on it is just going to piss off here for a little bit. We have a second Oracle. We also have a Twilight Council and a crap ton more gateways. Look at that. This is going to be a straight 6-gate blink, I think. Yeah, there we go. We get the blink. Forge is actually delayed. This is a cool build order, though, out of Skillous. Let me tell you that much. This is a very cool build order. Sucks that it's going to get scouted here instantly. Dark just flies in with that Overlord. At the same time, we have the double adapt, trying to shade into this third base. Links are slightly out of position. We'll need to go over right now. It's actually going to be a finish on this shade. -3 workers at least, perhaps -4. At the same time, Oracles coming in are going to pick off 1 or 2 workers as well, but it's going to cost them an Oracle. Still, I'm not sure if that is worth it, actually. An Oracle and 2 adapts for 7 drones? And at the same time, Dark is supply block right now, so that is something as well, but not the greatest start here for Skillous, if you ask me. Everything's been scouted by that Overlord. Oh my god, this is a huge supply block here out of Dark. Holy cow, there was a long supply block there. It's going to delay his drone count from rising by quite some time. We also have actually a Ling. Ooh. He's going for an attack. Or at least a Baneling run by. Look how low his worker count is here, 52. Double Forge behind this. 6 gases as well. This is a really odd way of playing. We don't usually see something like this. Because whenever we see a 6-gate, you're kind of expecting a big push out to come. And that's what Dark was expecting as well. Dark was completely set on beating Skillous' push. But there is no Skillous push. Look, he's like, wait, is there a fort base then maybe? What the hell is going on over here? He sees the lack of a forge, sees 4 extra gates, and I think his read 90% of the games is going to be correct. Just massing Links and Banes with a +1 I think is a phenomenal call against this. 4 Banes now coming in through the top. Ooh, actually gonna get 9 kills here instantly. Battery does survive. At the same time, this wall is under heavy attack as well. As the battery goes down, more and more Links are moving in forward. We still have that one Oracle dishing out a lot of damage as the Links are connecting with the Stalkers. Maybe a couple more probes need to die ideally. Behind this, Dark has managed to drone up. Resources lost fairly even, and 11 workers going down, so a good trade for Dark. But let's not forget he invested a lot in that attack as well. Not necessarily in just pure resources, but also in delaying the drone count. So he stayed on 52, 53 workers for a long time. That meant he just mined a little bit less. So overall, I do think it's a good position for Dark, but he did need that. He did need some damage. A storm is on the way. We have 1-1 on the way. We're going to add in a 9th gateway, I believe this is going to be, as we get a fat scout over here on this fort base. Does see gases going down on there? Do we have any type of follow-up tech though? Not really. So this is what, gas 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just a 4 gas. He played this off 2 gas the entire game. That is pretty nutty. 5th base on the way as well. 75 workers. As I mentioned, no fort for Skilles. No fort for Skilles. 6th base now coming out for Dark. As Skilles is going to move out with a pure Stalker force. That is scary because there are a lot of Links on the map. This base could take a little bit of damage. Could even get cancelled here. Will get cancelled. Then we're going to get a blink back. I wonder what Dark's plans will be. He says, hey, if you're attacking me, you're taking out one of my bases. I'm going to attack you and try to take out one of your bases. Problem is, there's no bases to attack. This is just a pure Stalker Storm Force. Dark, by the way, still completely stuck here on Ravager Ling Bane tech. Adding in another hatchery, so it's going to go up to 7 hatcheries total. Is that correct? Yeah, that's correct. 6 potential mining bases. And I think the supply should kind of favor Dark here for the next few minutes. He's going to be waiting for centrifugal hooks, perhaps even +2 until he makes the next timing attack happen. With a Zealot run by coming out, I am very confused as to what Skilles is doing here. Because he's just sitting at home on 3 bases, 9 minutes in. That is only 6 gas. Like, I'd be wanting to go up to 8 gas, at least, right now. If you don't quite know what your opponent is doing, you have a big bailing attack hitting this this 3rd base. There's a bunch of Zealots that are ready to be taken to heaven. Well, are going to be taken to heaven if he ain't careful. Here comes a storm. We'll connect with a lot of those bays, and at the same time we're going to have an attack over here. But there's plenty of storms available. Are these storms good enough? These storms are absolutely fine. This was a good fight here for Skilles, who doesn't lose a whole lot and does manage to kill quite a bit. Slow Zealot run by never works, so I'm surprised to see it here. I don't quite understand it. Look at that, resources lost. That was like minus 2,500 on the side of Dark there. It's painful. I think Dark should probably just continue on in, see if we can get a couple of stasis wards going. Yeah, it's a good call, because there's a bunch of stasis here that you actually want to kill. Dark's going to continue now taking more and more gas. It's actually moving up to 8. It hasn't taken his natural gases quite yet, but has taken all the other ones. And I also saw a Hydra then, as well as a range. So we're probably looking at lurkers here. Could theoretically be Hydra Ling Bane, but not very common. If you start with a Roach Ling Bane or Ravager Ling Bane, then going into Hydras from there is rare. Majority of the time, if you're going to transition into something, it will be the lurker. As I think this fort base, by the way, ooh, I was going to say it won't survive, but it will definitely survive. Archon count here is good. We have plenty of storms. That is a nice zoning storm that hit his own Archon a little bit. That happens to the best. Prism is going to be moving on forward as well. Stalker's blinking out. We'll see if we can deal some damage over here. We have all of these links. I mean, they're just not going to get any connections with this army because there's just too many storms. Once again, Skilles is taking an absolutely phenomenal fight. He's going to get a fat Zealot warping into the main base as well. We now have charge on these topside boys here. Like, there's no counterattack possibility. We don't have lurkers quite yet. I think there's a decent chance that Skilles is just going to walk across the map and win this game. I don't quite see how he's not going to win this game, if I'm being real honest. Because his army is just freaking huge. Dark's early game was quite good, but stayed on this Ravager or this Roach Ling Bane for such a long time, not really achieving a whole lot, because there was nothing to achieve. Dark gambled on Skilles taking a base too fast, but he didn't. As a result, Skillet is going to be taking that game number 1 there against Dark, despite, honestly, not the greatest start, I would say. It really felt like after that Ling Bane attack, Dark had a minor lead, but he teched so freaking slow. Like, we were 11 minutes in, and there was no tech from the lair even. We were still on Ling Bane Roach. What the hell is this? Is he gonna... He's gonna proxy edge, isn't he? He's like, macro games are fun, but you know what's more fun? What I'm about to do to you, little buddy. Just going to... Oh, look at this. This is nice hiding. Oh, that is beautiful. That is beautiful routing on that drone, let me tell you. Okay. Double hatch. Hatch before pool. And the first hatch on the other side of the map. The second hatch at home. We're going to get a pool behind this. And now I'm curious to see how Skillet is going to respond to that. We see another drone being pulled downstairs. Going to see a cybernetic spore in here. A zealot and a pylon is what we'll need. Oh, we already have that pylon going up in the main base. The chrono boosted a little bit too fast. Second gas as well right now coming up. Spawning pool, extractor. Alright, interesting opener. So this is not going to be an all-in out of Dark. The goal of this hatchery is very simple. The goal of this hatchery is to block this natural from doing anything. So taking the parking spot, so to say. Like, he knows you need your car there, you know? They absolutely know. And he just, boom, plops it over there. Against Zerg, I don't quite think you can take the Nexus on the third base. I used to think you could do that. Like, kind of how, like, if a Terran plops an eBay down there, you just walk over to your third and build your Nexus there. But against Zerg, with Link speed, it feels finicky. I don't love the vibes that you get off of that. He's not going to cancel it. He's actually going to start a Queen as well as a set of Links. I don't think the Queen is going to finish. I think the set of Links probably shouldn't be finished either, if I'm being real honest. Look at this. These Links only have one task in life, and that's absolutely blast this probe. Like, he doesn't care about anything else. He's like, okay, we're on creep. You have one probe here. I have 2 Links. All I care about is killing that probe. And actually, gonna get a scout off. So it's a pretty cheap scout, right? 50 minerals for a scout. It's not the end of the world. He's now going to start another set of Links. I think he will end up canceling that. I'd be shocked to see that actually finish up. I don't think he will. We have another set of Links here, by the way, getting ready to be sent across the map. And it will be used as like a run-by. Because majority of the time, we'll see the Protoss player now just send the Adept Zealot across. And that's indeed what is happening. Behind all of this, we have speed. We have 6 Links on the way. Worker count is 25. Worker count for Skillet is 26. We have a temporary full wall. Skillet knows what he's, who he's up against, what he's up against. First Oracle actually pops out relatively quickly. This third base could be in some problems. Could be in some trouble. You move the Queens over here. Natural is very, very vulnerable. So you're going to need to do this with just pure Ling, but you're going to do it with pure Ling. Oracle's nearby, right? If this would have been recharged, by the way, that would have been very big here for this situation. That would have been very, very big. Still no Spore here, by the way. Still no Spore. He's gonna go for a Queen. I think it's a mistake. He probably should just right-click this hatchery if I'm being real honest. It's too late now. Bad execution out of Skillet. Not a good look. Not a good look. I think he could have gotten more here. Either kills in the net. It's actually only a Spore in the main, so maybe even in the main you can do something. Or he could have maybe gotten this hatchery, but yeah, this was probably the worst possible result that he could have hoped for. Second Oracle is out, third Oracle on the way. As the Nexus is about to finish up finally. More Queens in production. Right now we only have 3. Double Spores out. We have a 4th Queen on the way already. I'm expecting a 5th one to pop off as well relatively soon. Oh, he's going to make a play for it. That's a mistake. He's going to lose 4 or 5 Links. Oracle was nearby to kind of zone this away. Oracle now flies in. I wonder if he just wants to kill this hatchery anyway. 800 HP. Is that something you can do? Okay, he's gonna bring it down. Gonna bring it down just a little bit. I wonder if that is something you can do. If you have triple Oracle, which is exactly what he has, there's only 2 Queens here. He has 4 Adepts and 1 Zealot. You fly in here with the Oracles, kill this Queen, then you kill this Queen, boom. Right-click the hatchery. Ah, come on, Skillet. You can't really do it like this. You can't really do it like this. It's going to end up losing a bunch of Adepts here for, well, not a whole lot of Links. Not a great trade. He's trying his best, but This wasn't it. This really wasn't it. 42 to 39 workers. By no means the end of the world. But I think with the tools he had and has, he could have achieved much, much more. Like, I'm not saying he has to get the hatchery, but I think if you have 3 oracles against 2 queens, you should be capable of at least getting something. As now his own nexus is being cancelled as well over here. This is very painful. This is the start of what is most likely going to be a very painful game. We have a Robo, we have a Forge coming out as well. We have a 4th base on the way for Dark. Does not have an Evo chamber quite yet. Okay, there we go. It's going to be a cancel on sword. This I like. I do like that. It's quite costly to have to cancel this. It keeps the Oracle button active. It's going to kill an Extractor as well. Like, these things are actually quite nice. And now he's going to lose 1 Oracle. Another Oracle is being targeted. You just can't do this. You can't do this. He's going to lose another Oracle if he ain't careful. Okay, he's going to barely keep it alive with what, 1 HP? Actually 1 HP. That's really crazy. Twilight Council and Robo Bay. Oh, he's gonna build Colossus. Oh. I'm not a huge Colossus fan personally, because I almost never really see them work. Majority of the time when I see a Colossus work, I think to myself, Storm would have done the same thing. Storm Immortal would have just been better in that situation. So I think to myself a lot of the time. But every now and again you have these games in which the Colossus is actually quite powerful. Like, it has some use against specifically like long layer tech builds, where someone plays like Hydroling Bane. Even against Ravagerling Bane, I don't really mind it that much. You have quite a bit of damage output. You max out with Colossus. You're in a good spot if your opponent doesn't have Hive. If your opponent has a Hive and any amount of Lurkers or Vipers, you're not in as great of a spot. Because they're such a big, big target for those Lurkers. Infestation Pit is going to come out. We're going to have Hive coming out relatively soon as well. I'm still expecting the Lurker tech to be the follow-up here, as the first Colossus starts right now. Triple Oracles, not been capable of doing a whole lot. Overall, worker kills are 4. That is not a whole lot at all. But if I'm looking at what Skillis is doing here, I am just seeing a kind of a 3-base push coming out of him, if I'm being honest. A 3-base push coming out of him. And if there's this many workers already, this early on for Dark, it's just going to be hard to get anything done with that 3-base push. Like, it is not easy whatsoever if you're fighting against someone that has 10 gases. There's a couple of reasons for this. Reason number 1 is that if they have this many workers and this many bases, it's really easy for Dark to give up a base. So Dark can just pretend to want to hold a base. He just kind of stands around and he moves forward and he moves back, but he's not actually fighting, and that could win him another 15, 20, 30 seconds or so. And then on top of that, the eco is so good already right now, so at the moment the Lurker then finishes up, you're just going to have a bunch of Lurkers. The moment the Hive finish up, you're going to get 1, 2 Vipers out as well. And Vipers are really kind of a game changer against the Colossus, right? The Colossus can do a whole lot against that. There's going to be a Templar Archive, so it probably wants to warp in maybe some Feedbackers, some what do you call them? High Templars. The feedback, maybe even Research Storm, but it's going to be very tough. I do like this move out. It's going to clear quite a bit of creep in the middle of the map, as the Ling Hydra is now being set up to go for a flank. Usually not a fan of it, but in this case, I think the army is actually big enough. This is not allowed what Dark is doing here. This is an absolutely illegal move. Dealing with Colossus by building the units that get countered by the Colossus. As never seen. He just played pure Ling Hydra. This is not viable whatsoever. Please do not copy this unless your name is Dark, alright? This is not what you're supposed to be doing, but if the supply is high enough, it doesn't even really matter. Beautiful flank there out of him. Recall caught, only a couple of Stalkers and Immortal did not catch the Colossus. Dark is just, he's eating him. He's absolutely eating him. What a beautiful execution here out of Dark. Proxy hatch into Hydra Link to deal with Colossus. This is Dark at his finest. And as Dark does take that game number 2, we'll be heading on to Amygdala over here. Which is weird to see, this map in a best of 3. For the people that are not aware, everyone gets 3 vetoes. And out of the 9 maps that are currently in the map pool, I'd say Amygdala makes a top 3 map for Protoss in Protoss vs Zerg. However, this has been one of the more divisive map pools when it comes to people liking or disliking maps. Like, a lot of the maps seem to just be vetoed kind of on people hating it or loving a map. And I've seen Amygdala played a bunch in PvZ. It's just personally, I feel very strongly that this is a good Protoss map. You have these easy third bases. You have a fourth base that is relatively simple as well. Like this can be walled. This can be walled. You have a fifth base with a gold, which you could technically take. Like once you start moving into like even this as your fourth isn't that bad either. Like there's quite some space, but it doesn't feel that bad if I'm being real honest. Like there's just a lot of things I like on this map for Protoss. Oh, he's going to take this as the third. I haven't quite seen that yet. So this is 3, then this is 4. You know what? I don't mind it. The only problem is that the rush distance between these two bases gets shortened significantly, which is something I wouldn't quite want if I'm the Protoss. Things like queen walks are just a very scary thing to have to deal with. So I would always... Oh, what the hell? Oh, dark. Oh, dark. Oh, dark. This is a really fast layer. This unit, this bad boy over here, is going to be vital to Skillis' survival. So he's probably going to move into the third base, but I would just hope that he just pokes his head into the main base just to have a quick look to see what's going on, because it is so freaking important for him right now. Oh, what the hell is Dark doing here? This is going to be a Queen Ling attack with Overlord speed. Fast and maybe Nidus? I think he's gonna cancel this. I think this is bait. It's gonna be Nidus. Right? Is it actually just gonna be Queen Ling? No way. Yes way. In that case, I'm expecting some type of drop as well to be constructed at some point. Dude, there was such a fast rush into the lair. If Skillis sees that right now here, that could be a pretty big deal. Of course, he didn't scout it instantly, so it might not be as obvious anymore. It's like, 450 for a lair timing. It's like, it's early, but it's not crazy early. Like, people have done this before in the past. There's a second dropper lord here as well right now. Link count's going to continue to rise. We have, actually, we only have 16. Gonna go up to 50-ish or so. Is that correct? Yeah, 50 links. Gonna have 50 links. We're gonna have 5 queens on the other side of the map. We're gonna have 1 queen at home. He's going to hit in between these two bases. And here come the links. Stasis ward goes down as well. Here come the queens. I would have loved to see a drop into the main base. I think that would have been phenomenal. All right, here we go. Drop straight over the pylon. How many stalkers? We have 7 stalkers. We have 7 stalkers against 50 links. Now, I'm not great at judging fights, but with 50 links, I'd feel pretty freaking secure in my position if I was Dark here. As he just kind of runs in here. There's a couple of transfusions still available. Should start using them. There we go. Links start taking out a lot of these drones. We have more links in production behind this, so no transition. And I don't really think a transition is going to be necessary here either, as GG gets called. Dark is going to win this series with a 2-1 score with obviously a beautiful all-in here in the third and final game. And that is going to be it for me today. I hope you all did enjoy this. If you did, don't forget the subscribe button on this channel. We're planning on hitting 50k before the end of the year, and I can only do that with your help. So please hit that button, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.